right, here we go again. Apparently, the Jets could be trading Breece Hall and Quinnen Williams, and that's crazy. And then the Giants could be getting rid of Kayvon Thibodeaux. These some names starting to heat up. I think the trade deadline is the Monday, November 4th. Could any of those guys help them? From what I understand, Quinnen Williams is more of an interior lineman. Um, I don't know if he can play defensive end, but when you look at it, that would ensure that obviously DJ Reed wouldn't come back if he is an interior lineman. And then what would you do with a guy like Tyleek Williams? You know, could they play Quinnen Williams at the big end? Because you can't play Aleem McNeil at the big end or Tyleek Williams. I mean, I'm not sure, but you know, even if you're talking about the Titans are kind of like they just traded the corner with McCurry. Even with the Titans and they fired their coach, talking about trading Jeffrey Simmons. I mean, no, I'm pretty sure right now you would probably just say, hey, we gonna keep Reader. Unless we trade one of them, we keep Tyleek. We'll keep Aleem McNeil. But come next year, Reader probably gone. Okay, and then you got a choice to make. Do you get rid of Tyleek? Do you keep him in part of a 3-pin rotation? So when you start talking about like Jeffrey Simons or Quinnen Williams going on the inside, you know what I'm saying, or Dexter Lawrence or you guys like that. And when you look at the Lions, they're pretty much set there. Obviously, Anzarike won't be back next year. Probably DJ Reader won't be back next year. You know what I'm saying? Makai Wingo has been an injury bust. Josh Pascal, who can play inside, outside, he probably won't be back next year. So really, your basis is gonna be your history, your future gonna be in Aleem and gonna be in Tyleek Williams. You know what I'm saying? So probably not Makai. So you do probably need some depth there. But how much depth do you need? Honestly, if you go in there and swing for Quinnen Williams, that's an elite, Pro Bowl, all pro caliber type of guy. Jeffrey Simons, same thing. So, at the end of the day, you find a way to make those things work, whether you switch into a 3-4 front or whatever, putting somebody at big end or something like that. But, most, if you're really thinking about it, they probably just need to boost that defensive end. If you're thinking about it, just another end, I think, just to kind of fill it out. Al-Qayyad Muhammad is playing well. You expected to get Marcus Davenport back. You got guys that's filling in, whether it's O'Connor, whether it's Derek Barnes helping in the pass. And I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but honestly, if you were going to do something like, something close to that, you probably think a defensive end. And I don't feel like it has to be anything like wow, but a guy like Kayvon Thibodeaux makes a lot of sense. It makes a tremendous amount of sense. You get a guy in there that, got one more year on the deal too. So I guess the fifth year option, they picked up one more year. They got a decision they make. They got the kid they drafted for Penn State. And they got a decision to make, do they want to keep Brian Burns? You know what I'm saying? Or they want to say, hey, let's lessen the cap. Let's trade Burns and keep Thibodeaux. But then again, you probably didn't got to pay Thibodeaux. So you already paid Burns. You got Carter under contract for 4 more seasons. Kayvon probably the odd guy out. I liked him a little bit more than Aiden Hutchinson coming out. But obviously that ain't been close. And maybe that's playing in New York. Who knows? Maybe coming here, I think he'd be good. I don't know how many times, you see the number 3 and I think the number 4 pick, 2 and 3 pick playing with each other. But I think he complements well. I think, he's a guy, get some speed off the edge, get an opportunity to get some money here this season and next season. And, I think he's perfect for Aiden Hutchinson. A guy that can get a burst. There's been some durability concerns coming in. I think he had a couple of knick-knack injuries, but get Davenport in there. I don't know if Pascal gonna come back, but you get Davenport in there. You get Al-Qayyad Muhammad. They can just be a unit. Give Aiden Hutchinson a blow. You can put no Diddy. You can put So I like Kayvon Thibodeaux. Seemed to be a great fit. Even getting a guy like Jalen Phillips. Today Brad Holmes said he's very confident, and Marcus Davenport coming back. But even if they wanted to make 2 moves, you bring a guy in like Kayvon and you bring a guy in like Jalen Phillips. Why not? You know, Jalen Phillips can give you, he can give you another body at, 3-down linebacker. He can put hand in the dirt and get the quarterback. I mean, you can figure it out. I think, Kayvon Thibodeaux could play on the last year of his deal. If, Jalen Phillips do well, I don't think you got to break the bank for him. If, Kayvon Thibodeaux comes in and he is, let me think. I'm trying to think of somebody. I can't think of no, but like somebody solid. Like if he's like Rashad Gary, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think you got, you mind paying him whatever Rashad Gary get. You know what I'm saying? Like if he can just be Rashad Gary, but then again, what you can say is, I can go in the draft next year and find that guy, but you would still have him for 2 years. So I mean, the rest of this season and next season. So it might be enticing, and if it's a fit, it's a fit. If you're not sure it's a fit, then you can draft a guy next year. So yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. I think Kayvon is the guy, or Jalen Phillips, or even both. But I think one of those guys, I mean, especially a guy like Kayvon Thibodeaux, it fill it out. If it just fills you out. And like I said, only they know if they getting Jalen back. I mean, if they getting what's the guy's name? A defensive end. It's Josh Pascal back, and I think it might be more serious with Josh Pascal because it continues to be undisclosed. So I think his situation might be more serious. So I mean, it's a turnover coming across that defensive line. Where I think Reader won't be back, Wingo won't be back, Anzarike won't be back, Pascal won't be back. So I think, you'll see a guy like Alquay. I think Davenport won't be back. But I start to see Tyleik Williams, Aleem McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson, Alquay and Muhammad. I think that's the foundation. If you can get a Kayvon Thibodeaux, perfect. If you can get, a Jalen Phillips too, or one of that's perfect for them. So, but, out of all those names, I think Quinnen Williams is the best name out there. Him or Jeffrey Simons. He's not out there, but I'm just, hearing that that they can have a fire sale in New York. I mean in Tennessee, but honestly, I think for them, Kayvon is a good pick. So that I think that's ideal. And then you get him for one more season. I think you can't beat it. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live, drop video. Hit the link tree, find me on X, Instagram, Facebook, Kick, Twitch. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. But I think Kayvon's the guy. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. But I did not know he had one more year left. So to me, it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You make that happen. Or Jalen Phillips.